Hey Trent, how you doing?
Good, Trevor. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You're looking awfully festive.
Yes.
Okay.
It's spooky season now.
October 1st.
October 1st.
So.
As you roll this out a month later. It's October 1st. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Get out the orange and black.
Yeah. But by the time this actually comes out, this will actually be the perfect thing for this, huh? Because we're about staggered that amount of time.
Yeah.
That this might come out perfectly. This might be the Halloween special.
Ooh, the Halloween special.
The spooky special.
Ooh, should we break down Halloween myths or some scary lending myths and all that?
What, the scariest story you've had?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a super scary one?
Like as far as in lending or
in lending.
Other than the application was filled out, everything was going great, and then suddenly there were no docs. We couldn't have pre-approved them without any docs. I don't know.
It doesn't seem that scary.
Well,
it seems disappointing.
And then the income came in really low.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and they couldn't get the house.
I mean, like big problems in lending where you're going to be like, oh, that was a nightmare of a deal. I mean, I'm not going to lie, like the one we had somewhat recently that we pulled together at the end. And I feel like that's the important part that you need to focus on is can you pull it together when things go wrong? Yeah. So that's what we need to focus on because we pulled it together. We saw him yesterday. He's super happy.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's super happy.
Good.
There was a few things in the deal that the homeowners happened. One of the screens was ripped. It wasn't ripped beforehand. But, part of that is like Jessica and I are just like, let's not, we'll just pay for that. Yeah. Let's not create any waves. Let's, So he's happy.
Good.
Even though it was a
week-long extension because a condition got missed that you can't fix instantaneously.
Yeah, and it didn't get missed by us. It got missed by the lender. Mm-hmm. But that's a reflection of us because that comes down to we're the face of the deal.
Everything's our fault.
So it's unfortunate when that happens. And I gotta say, he was not great with you or I, but he treated Jessica really well. Mm. So even though he was mad, he didn't display his anger in the same way.
Well,
so,
we could take it. Yeah, that's what it was. He's like, these guys can take it.
I think that's part of it, and I mean, I think the real estate end wasn't the problem this time. So he saw that. So it is what it is. You know? But all that to say is we did get it close. Yes. So,
and just sometimes you can line everything up and then you get a surprise. If this had been taken care of at the beginning of the file, having the dispute, they were like, oh, hey, it wasn't an issue and something, and now they condition for it. Right at the end, if you conditioned back 30 days in, we wouldn't have had to worry about anything. It would have been perfectly fine, taken care of in stride, been done.
Yeah, but we can't expect that with every deal.
You can't expect that with every deal. No.
But I do have to say, so that one just closed, which was a blessing. We're glad to get that one done. Yeah. It's looking like October, if everything closes when it's supposed to, is going to be a record-breaking month for Jessica and I in real estate.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of crazy being that it's October. Yeah. And being that it's 2025 where most people are struggling. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is just when the deals fall, and we had a lot of higher end listings. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you start getting those under contract, so I mean, we have a listing that we were able to get the buyer, and we're giving them a huge break on the commission compared to what it would have been. Okay. But we had the listing, and we found the buyer that it's in our subdivision. The buyer's in our subdivision. Okay. Pretty much everybody knows us in our subdivision.
You're the go-to.
So we're the go-to. Yeah. Which I kind of feel bad for the 4 other real estate agents in the subdivision, but they don't do that. They don't do that well to market themselves, to put themselves as the go-tos. Yeah. And I don't even do that great of a job. Jessica does a great job. And then
when we get Snyder success stories out there.
Yeah. Well, I'm more of a pit bull. So she just has to get me in front of people. Mm-hmm. So once she gets me in front of people, then I'm the closer. I come in and close the deal. So that's kind of how her and I operate. She's, the friendly, outgoing one. Everybody knows her, she's happy face and stuff. And then we get into it, and when I get involved, it's all about business.
It's like the cheerleader and the running back.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, wow, I never thought of it like that, but and running backs don't make that much money, so I'd rather be the quarterback.
Calling the shots.
Yeah, so we were able to get both sides on that, and we had actually with that deal, I'll just tell you straight up, we agreed on everything, and then it was a little bit lower than what the seller wanted. Mm-hmm. However, she's saving so much on commission that she's like, okay, I could make up that difference. Actually is exactly what I wanted to walk away with.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
However, when the inspection came back, the buyers were like, we want a little bit, they kept trying to get it for less anyways. So they wanted $7,000 off because of various things. And I will say there were some things that came up. They were like, oh, you know what? We do probably need to take care of that.
Yeah.
But when we presented it to the seller, she's like, I'm not doing anything. If they want anything done, I'll just continue to live here. And I'll just take it off the market.
Oh.
And so you have to understand, we are real estate agents first, mm-hmm. and counselors second, but sometimes it feels like we're counselors first, real estate agents second.
Yes.
And so a lot of it is, this gal's older. Her husband passed away in the house 7 years ago. She's having a hard time. They were some of the original owners in the subdivision, mm-hmm. as it was being built up. When her husband passed away, he was such a big deal in the HOA and community that the park, we have two big parks in our subdivision. The park, mm-hmm. on the end got renamed Selden Park after him. So she's just having a difficult time. It's more than just, is this the
There's
right
a lot
money?
of emotion.
There's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And then I think part of it too, she's moving out of state, which I think is a little against her comfort. Mm-hmm. And she kind of butts heads with her daughter, and she's going to be living really close to her daughter. And she wants to be close to her daughter and the grandkids.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a lot of things that are coming up that she's just like, am I making the right decisions? Mm-hmm. So she's having a hard time. So basically she told us that, like, if they ask for anything, I'm just taking it off the market. Mm. And so we went back to the buyers, and I already had this, and I was like, this is what's going to happen. I already had told Jessica, I was like, this is what's going to happen. Like, since they asked for this amount of money, she's not going to want to do anything. And I said, so we're going to have to cover half of it and tell the buyers that they're just going to have to cover the other half. But at least you got the $3,500. So what we're doing is we're sending part of our commission over to the buyers, mm-hmm. for repairs.
Yeah.
And just keep the ball rolling. And yep, Linda doesn't, or sorry, I probably shouldn't be using any names, but it doesn't really matter. It's all public records, actually. But she doesn't care or know the difference on anything, mm-hmm. know. And now the buyers are taken care of. In addition, the buyers will probably be selling their current home, and they are seeing what we're doing to help them get the deal done.
Yep. Yeah, should be first in line.
Exactly.
You should have been the first, the agent spend the most time with them, top of mind.
Yep. And I think they know that anyway. They keep talking about, like, the buyers are so super excited. They're just like, when we get this, you guys are going to have to come over and hang out. And
of course.
So it's been a great deal. So that's one of our big ones that's closing. But we have another one, that $1 million property that's been in escrow for a couple months now. And it's finally,
saga.
Yeah, it's going to finally close in about 3 weeks. And we have on their home for sale in Georgia, we have a referral off that. So not only do we have that sale right there, but we're going to be getting the referral on their house that's closing in Georgia at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we have 2 other deals that are closing this month. And so with everything combined, it'll be a record-breaking month. It should be.
Yeah.
Which my prior record-breaking month was December of 2020, I think. And I sold a $3 million property. That was nice. And that was the only thing I closed in the month, but it happened to be my record-breaking month. It was $3 million.
Worked so well. Yeah.
So
you're going to be $3 million in October?
Actually, I mean, in sales, it depends how you look at it, because if you consider if you only consider it on the listing side, I don't know how you count that, because we're double ending the one deal. So do you count it as?
I don't know.
Like, I think you actually do. I think each side gets to count that, because normally we count the full, just on one side we count the full.
I mean,
8 million.
I guess I wonder how it would work out, because like I wouldn't be able to speak to it, because I know like in lending, like when you take and you can only report the volume once, even if there's like because often
even if it gets split,
right? Even if it gets split, so like you'll get like when you and I work deals together, like you get internal credit, but for compliance and reporting purposes, only the senior loan officer on the deal gets the volume towards what gets reported for things. So yes, I mean, like, so basically, because what would happen is if we said, hey, you have this volume and I have this volume, but it was the same deal, they'd effectively be like, wait a minute, you're double counting your volume, you're inflating your numbers is how it works.
1 + 1 = 2, not 1.
Right. Apparently.
I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, but when you're doing both the buy and the sell side, it's one transaction, but you're getting, there's more paychecks, essentially.
Correct.
Right? I know you said you cut like a little bit of discount, but like there's still more paychecks. Like if it was full commission, you'd get the full on both. I think you should get credit for both.
I think that's how it works. I think because it's considered two separate transactions. We're transacting. In fact, Jessica's the listing agent and I'm the buying agent on this one. So it is, it's separated.
Does that make it weird? You guys negotiate sometimes?
Well, ultimately, it's always what's best for our buyer or seller. When you get into a position like this, it's difficult to separate. But at the same time, we do go back and forth. Like we have arguments among, well, the seller needs this, and the buyer needs this. Ultimately, all sales, at the end of a good sale, the buyer and seller should be shaking hands, and it should be a good deal for both people. And that's the definition of a good sale. And so I think that's what we try to get to, is the definition of a good sale, where we're representing both sides. That's why that's a big reason too that we wanted to push that money for the inspection over to the buyers, is because we didn't want I'm pretty positive I could have talked them into no money and they would have been fine. We would have stayed in contract. It wouldn't have cost me $3,500 but both sides have to feel like they won. And for me, I would rather in this situation feel like we allowed the buyers to have a win, than take that away, for a few reasons. We want their listing.
Exactly.
So I'm going to be fully, honest with that in case you're watching. But also it's always the right thing to do. And we're always looking out for our clients above ourselves. So our paychecks will come. We just have to make sure that both sides are taken care of.
100%.
So
that makes sense.
So how's October going for you?
It's good. It's gonna have a good start to it. I had a couple of deals that I was really trying really hard to close, right at the end of September to get those numbers. Because my September was good. I had probably my best month here at Empire.
Really, huh?
Yeah, in September.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah, I got 1.7. So
wow.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah.
And then just have a couple nuances, a couple files. So I got one that I had to fight this appraisal issue for like a while. It's a refinance, so I have that all ironed out. Just need a couple docs from the borrower. I should be able to get that closed next week.
Just real quick question. I feel like appraisers are cutting things back right now, and because we're having a lot of appraisal issues in real estate, and I'm like, how does this happen? It just buyers are willing, and it just feels like they're getting cut back.
Yeah.
You feel that too?
We're having I had one where I had to restructure a deal for somebody because we were doing bank statement, and it actually works out to their favor. We had to restructure a deal. We were doing bank statement for them. And then because they didn't have enough income to do traditional look at your taxes for an FHA or conventional for that matter, and just the debt to income didn't work out on this. However, The purchase price was $580, and the appraisal came in at $508, $509. Yeah, so he really wants the house. So what he was able to do now is, because of where we're ending up at an FHA, we can get him a better rate, better deal here. But he's going to bring in more money too. So he's like bringing more money. So he's technically underwater for like a little bit there. But because the purchasing price got renegotiated at $550. So he's going to bring in the difference, but the loan's based on like the 509, but then he's going to end up bringing less cash to close than doing the bank statement 10%. So it works out as favor. He's saving like 20 grand.
Wow.
But so it's like one of those where it's like, all right, you're just going to have to, you can't move from this house for a while.
Right.
Which that works out that way, I guess. So it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And let's be realistic. Sometimes you just have to solve the problem of the boat sinking. You just have to solve that problem, And so I feel like that's where he's at, where he's just like, okay, let's just patch this up.
Yeah.
And then we'll be above water as we slowly start to get the water out.
Yeah.
And so
as the market improves, the equity gains.
And it happens to everybody. Warren Buffett is famously being interviewed when he lost billions of dollars. The lady interviewing him was like, hey, how does it feel to lose billions of dollars? He's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, the stock market just plummeted. It's showing that your assets are a couple $1 billion light. And he's like, oh, I didn't lose any money. He's like, I didn't sell anything. He's like, you only lose money when you sell in a down market.
Yep.
I was just like, sometimes you just have to weather the storm.
Just got to weather the storm.
So that's what he's doing. He's figuring this out. He's getting to the next day. He's weathering the storm, and he can't sell for a little bit, but he's going to be fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah. And now we do have another appraisal pending too, because FHA loans have to close an FHA appraisal. Got to have that case number on there as it is. So maybe we'll get a pleasant surprise, and maybe it'll come back a little bit better, and then I can renegotiate, rework the numbers for him until I'm like, hey, whatever it is, we'll figure it out. And just go from there. But yeah, so you could get a good surprise that way. Maybe you can bring even less to closing, cover that distance.
Is it in a subdivision, or is it just like, is it kind of a odd house like in the country or something? I mean, I'm just trying to see about
like a subdivision.
Okay. Yeah. Because like usually like with the houses in a subdivision, the conformity, they're going to be relatively close in price, unless it's an oddity like on the water or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't hyper unique or anything.
Change. Okay.
So, but yep. So now I'm just gonna get that one through. But yeah, like appraisal has been weird. I had somebody who wouldn't do their job. They wouldn't get the rent schedule on both a primary residence and not a primary residence, but the main house and the ADU. They were having issue with that. So I feel like that appraiser didn't know what they were doing. So we got it reassigned, and took 3-4 weeks to figure out the issue, and then finally get the appraisal out. Person did the job.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, we're good there. Now I just got to get some docs from the client, and then I'll get that to closing. I have another one where a particular lender got really busy, and they're good on the back end, but their initial setup is taking a really long time. However, the benefit is that I already had another loan in process from the same client. We're doing 2 DSCR refis on properties for them. And so the cool part is that we're clearing conditions for both. So as soon as like, hey, we know what the conditions are on this one, great. We're sending that to we got the same underwriter. So they're going to just go, so we should get conditional approval today, and it should be just insurance.
Okay.
So hopefully we can take and go, all right, great, speed it to docs, and then get them closed. I don't know if we'll get it in by Friday, because I did hear from another coworker that like it took them 3 days to get to docs, and I'm like, can't have that. So. And
there's nothing you can do. Call in.
I can call and be like, hey, yeah, you guys got to do this. But at the end of the day, they're gonna be like, we only can work as fast as we can. But
if you keep calling me, it's gonna take longer.
Yeah, but I'm not talking to the person who's producing the docs, But no, it is sometimes it feels like that. But yeah, I mean, we just got to take and keep pushing the deal through. But yeah, so those are good. That'll be a good kick to the beginning of October. And then I got a fast one that Gabe and I are working together. Somebody's getting some cash out of some South Carolina properties using a unique product. They are they've done everything else. They just have to pay for the appraisals.
Okay.
And it's all asset based. So literally, that's the only thing that's going to hold it up. Pay for the appraisals, and we can get you closed.
Okay. So they're ready to go, or are they taking their time?
They're taking their time.
It sounds like people.
That's my mystery I got to solve today. And now it's like, so it's like, all right, need that done so you can go pay for the appraisals, and then we can take and get that deal moving, because it's a good amount of money. That one's like it's like 4 properties altogether, you know. So that could be anywhere from like $600,000 to $700,000 loan amount, depending on like what it comes back as.
That's nice.
Yeah. So you put like, and it's like, all right, October's good.
Yeah.
You know. Obviously, always looking for more. So because actually, I'm going to make a video on this, so maybe it's a good topic to talk about now. Although this won't come out until the end of October, but now is the perfect time to streamline getting people pre-approved.
Okay.
So if you got anyone who is renting, they feel like their house is too small, now is the time. Get pre-approved today. Start house shopping, and like you could potentially get into your house by Thanksgiving, certainly by Christmas.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Now is the time for first-time home buyers, people that haven't bought in a while.
Yeah.
VA buyers, anybody FHA, you know, because you can get your offer accepted right now.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. So if you can figure out the logistics, the lending, and if everything else is going to work out, now it's time to get pre-approved.
Now is the perfect time to get pre-approved.
And see if it makes sense.
Yeah.
And see where they're at. See where you can shop, like price range. Like people call us first. It's funny that people always call realtors first. And I'm like, well, you know, what are you pre-approved for? Well, I don't know. But, you know, I'm thinking I want a house under $400,000. Well, do you know what the monthly payment's going to be? Like, no, I don't know. Let's figure out what makes sense to you first.
Yep.
And then we'll look at houses that fit within that buy box.
Yep.
So, you know,
exactly.
But, you know, I totally get it too. I mean, I don't mind people calling me. I don't want to sound like that, because actually I enjoy those conversations, because then I can talk about it. But it is one of those things where most people seek out the realtor first.
Yeah.
And then go to the lender.
Right.
You know? I think they want to go house shopping, and then they know that realtors
they get excited.
Yeah, and they know that realtors will point them in the right direction. So, but anyways, listen, I think this was a great episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel really great with that orange shirt on.
It was good.
Just festive and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So
starting spooky season.
Yep. So I hope you have a great day.
You too.
All right. Catch you guys later.
See you in the next one.